Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome to my channel, Gabby on Paper. Today's video is going to be a mid-month check-in. So we are just gonna go over all my expenses from July 1st through the 15th to see how I'm doing with my money this month and see how much I have left in my budget for the second half of the month. So let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, we're gonna be going over the 1st to the 15th. I'm thinking the next month I will switch back to weeklies, weekly check-ins. I think that works a little better for me, knowing, I'll know how much I'm starting the week with each week, as opposed to waiting for a full 2 weeks to see where I'm at. I think that will help me, maybe hopefully stay on track a little better, although I think this was a good period, but I like to know each week where I'm at. So I think I'm gonna be going back to the weekly check-ins. So first I will write out the categories. I'm just gonna write all the categories even if I didn't spend any money in it. So I'll just take a second to do that. Each month I'm budgeting both as looking at a month as a whole, and then also by paycheck. I'm looking at the events and the bills that I have falling within each paycheck period and using that paycheck to fund those things. But when I do my weekly check-ins, I will be doing the monthly amount because ultimately that's what I'm trying to stay within. I'm trying to stay within my monthly budget. So monthly for groceries, I budgeted $250, and now I will go through and add up how much I spent. $139.51. I'm just gonna take a quick second and double check my work. Yep. Oops, $139.51. Already, right off the bat. I don't know what the difference column means, so if I subtract the $250, means I have $110.49 left in my grocery category for the second half of the month. Yeah. So dining out. $139.73. Okay, I'm gonna double check. $139.73. So I had budgeted, let's take a look, $300 for dining out. I spent $139.73, which means that I have $160.27 left in my eating out category. For hobbies, I budgeted $25. I'm just gonna write down how much I budgeted for each so I don't have to keep going back. 25, 75, 25, entertainment is 100, miscellaneous is 25, and just a zero. So for hobbies, let's see how much I spent. Only 2 purchases, $28.80 and $266. So for a total of $31.46 is what I spent. And since I only budgeted $25, that means I went over budget by $646. Really, I'm okay with that. The majority of that was a magnetic phone mount for recording this. So it makes it so much easier not having to squeeze my phone into that little phone holder thing. And it was like a 4th of July sale, so they had a discount code and free shipping. So I'm glad I got it because I went to go buy it a couple months ago and the shipping was like $8 for a tiny little item, and I was like, no thanks. But now 4th of July was my excuse to buy it. And then just a printable, I think it was my paycheck budget printable that I got on Etsy. Shopping. Oh my God, nothing, if you can believe it. I have the full $75 left. I am actually super, super proud of this because if you didn't know, it's the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and each year that has been a problem area for me, literally spending $1,000 on clothes, and I haven't bought anything. I told myself I don't need anything. The only thing I was willing to buy was a bra if I found one that I liked, or some new socks, and I decided, for the sake of not buying anything other than those two things, to just not look at all, because it would cost me more money if I went through and found a bunch of things than, you know, the $10 I would save on the bra. So I've been doing really good. I think it's still going on, and I've been skipping through all like the Instagram posts that people show, you know, the things that they purchase, or their pics or whatever for the sale. So I've been skipping through those. And this last weekend we went to Nordstrom, and we went in and I was this close to buying a purse that I don't need, and honestly that I probably wouldn't have used because it was a shoulder bag and it would have slipped off my shoulder. So I'm very proud. Anyways, for home, nothing during this period. There will be something in the next one, but they'll come in the next check-in, so, or I guess in the wrap up at the end of the month. So I still have the full $25 left. Entertainment. Oh. I also did not spend anything, so I have the full 100 left, and that will change. We have some things coming up at the end of the month that we'll be spending money on, so that's okay. That's what that's for. And then miscellaneous, definitely. It was $9.50 and $4.95. It's $14.45 is what I spent on miscellaneous. And what that was is actually, so I have $10.55 left. Ubers to and from the beach. So a total of 3 Uber rides that I split with my boyfriend. Just the first weekend that we went to the lake, we had coolers, umbrellas, chairs, towels, and everything. We went packed. We didn't know really what the walk was gonna be like, what it was gonna be like when we got there, and anything. So we decided to just make it easy on us. Let's just take an Uber there. It was $10. An Uber back was another $10. We each paid for one, essentially. And then the second day that we went to the beach, I think we walked there and Ubered back because we were tired, I believe. So that's what it was. So nothing too crazy. This would have in the past gone in my transportation category, but since that comes out of my paycheck, my transit pass comes out of my paycheck. I don't have a transportation category since I typically don't take Ubers. We're really good at either walking or just taking the train/bus. But this one's an exception, and honestly, it was worth it. I would pay $10 to go to the beach twice a month or 3 times a month or whatever, like each time. So I'm okay with it. And then the last category is not something I planned for, but my boyfriend's sister was here a couple days after her birthday, and we went to Benihana, and we told her we'd treat her. Oh, he got her a small gift, and then we told her we'd treat her to her meal there. So her portion was $95.21 divided by 2. $47.60 is my half of that. And this portion is coming from my short-term savings. So I had talked about how instead of having a gifts sinking fund category, everything is lumped into one, and gifts will either be cash flowed or come from that short-term savings account that I have. I forgot, I didn't think about like she was gonna be here a couple days after her birthday and how we should probably treat her to a birthday meal. So I didn't budget it in, so it'll just come from my savings. So that is it. It was overall not a super spending month, which I'm really happy about. So what I did with my paycheck budget is based on the things that I had going on, I gave myself an amount that I wanted to work towards with my first paycheck. So I'm just gonna go over how I compared to that. So for groceries, I gave myself $150 and I spent $139.51, so under budget by $10. Dining out, the $125 is what I budgeted. I went over and I was at $139.73, and honestly I'm okay with that because something I didn't take into consideration when doing my paycheck budget was that the first day that my boyfriend's sister was here visiting was still part of the period that covers that my first paycheck covers. And so I didn't take into consideration that we would be going to Benihana and it's expensive, and that meal alone was like $50, $51.43 for my portion. So I didn't take that into consideration. I'll do better next time. But overall, I mean, I wasn't over by much, 15 bucks. I'm okay with that. And I'm still within budget for the month. So I'll just work on being better the rest of the month. Hobbies, I gave myself the full 25, home the full 25, and miscellaneous the full 25. Entertainment, I did give myself 25 of the 100, and I actually didn't use up any of it. Rather than doing an activity like after dinner or something, we went up to a bar, which I don't really drink, so it wasn't an expense for me. So I didn't spend any money from the entertainment category. Hobbies, I did go over budget by about $6.46, so a little bit, not too much, so I'm not too worried about it. Shopping, I didn't give myself anything. I was trying to challenge myself to not spend any money on myself like that for the first half of the month, and I succeeded, and I'm very happy. Home, I gave myself the full 25, but I didn't spend anything, but that will be probably all spent, if not a little more, the second half of the month. And then entertainment, again, nothing. Miscellaneous, I gave myself the full 25, but I only spent $14.45, which is good. So I think I had a very successful first half of the month. Today is the July 18th, so we're a few days into the second half, and it was a spendy weekend. I mean, we had a visitor, we did the activities we were planning on doing. All of those things cost money. So it was a spendy weekend, but I do think I budgeted for it, and I don't think I'm gonna be struggling at the end of the month. That's what it's feeling like right now. We'll see if that changes. I mean, this is only my first month / paycheck doing it by month and by paycheck, and right now I love it because these numbers are very good for me. So I mean, we'll see how the next paycheck goes, and then we'll see if I want to continue that. I'm still making changes to my videos, to my budget, as I try to figure out what it is that I want and that works for me. So anyways, before we call it quits, I'm gonna go through and highlight all my categories, and just to color code them, because I like doing that. I think it's fun. So that's it. I'm gonna leave gift unhighlighted, just because it's coming from my short-term savings account rather than my paychecks, and I think I like it that way. If I decide to pick a color for it, I'll do that on the next video. But thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.